to stream without a tripod. It's really difficult, and I apologize. It took me a very long time. Whew. And it's still not a good angle. Whatever. Okay, so welcome back to my channel. If you have not done so, please subscribe, hit the like and share. I have to get ready. I'm going to be finishing up some Christmas shopping today, as well as meeting up with a friend, and we're going to grab like a coffee or something. This is an awful angle. I'm sorry, I do apologize. But maybe I'll grab myself a tripod while I'm out. I don't freaking know. We'll see. But I wanted to discuss the Casey Anthony Docu series because I finished it a couple days ago, and while it's still fresh in my brain, I want to like talk about it. This is awful. Like, I wish I could just stay like that, but I won't. Anyway, I wanted to talk about it because it mentioned a lot of stuff that I didn't even know about the case. But again, I typically don't follow like anything having to do with like children. I just try not to. I just stay away. I'm too like emotional and sensitive of a person when it comes to that. I feel like the eyeliner that I use, by the way, like it stained my contact lenses, so they're a little bit red, like a hint of red, but that's to be expected. I don't know if you can tell. Sorry, I got lost track of what I was saying because of my eyes. Freaking, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't typically watch anything having to do with like dead children or like missing kids, because it's just something that is so it triggers me. It makes me emotional. I personally can't watch that kind of stuff. But I did actually watch the docu series all the way through. Granted, it took me about, I want to say, a couple weeks to finish it, because in all honesty, I don't really have time to like watch things that I want to watch, or I'm just being real. I don't really have time for that. So it took me like a good week or two to finish the 3-part series. So if I misspeak or if I don't remember something, don't like be mad at me. Because again, like I said, it took a minute for me to finish it, and yeah, so that's why. But I want to start off by saying I was one of the people that were anti Casey Anthony. I thought she was a cold-blooded killer of her kid. I mean, I was one of them, like cheering on the people out front of her parents' house. Like, I was really adamant that she had done it. She had killed her kid, and her dad was covering up for her. That was my whole opinion on the scenario. I didn't understand why she was let go or let off so easily. And then finding out like the full story, at least to this docu-series, what they portray as to be the full story, I had a better understanding as to why she was let go, or was found not guilty. I feel before I didn't understand. I was kind of just like, how could people just let her walk? I was pretty perturbed by the whole thing, and I just had to stop altogether. I had to stop, following it and all that jazz. So here we are now. The docu-series came out, and I feel it answers a lot of my questions when it comes to the jurors and why they made the decisions that they did. It makes me less angry, because I remember I was pissed. I was like, how could you let that woman go? You guys are evil. Like, I can't believe that. I was just like triggered, and I was like, I can't watch this kind of stuff. This is why. And that was even before having little ones. correct. But yeah, it was pretty dark. So the first part, I may have my parts all backwards and not. I'm trying to find a hair tie because I'm like dripping sweat for some. My sugars, you guys. Let me just be real for a minute. My sugars have not been under control whatsoever. It has a lot to do with my lifestyle because I don't have time to like. Well, this is my excuse for it. I don't have time to sit down and eat a decent meal. I don't have time to, you know, I'm making excuses for myself. But anyway, there's 4 people in here. Nobody's talking. Right on. So glad. So happy. Merry Christmas to you too. Maybe it's the topic. Anywho, what was I going to say? Oh, I'm not going to find a hair tie, I have a feeling, so that's okay. Let's just get into it. Let me find a bobby pin or something, dude. Oh, your meeting starts in 3 minutes? Oh, cool beans. Yeah, I'm actually going to meet up with my sponsor. Speaking of meetings, that should be good enough for now. I'm going to meet up with my sponsor. I needed to have some refreshing sponsor time. Sponsee time. And possibly finish up some last minute Christmas shopping. I don't know how realistic that is, but we'll see. Anywho, going back to the Casey Anthony case, I thank you for being here, Celebrity Juicer, by the way. I appreciate you. Very much so. At first, I thought the series was just going to be Casey Anthony trying to convince us that she didn't do anything to her daughter. And for a minute there, I kind of felt that way. But as the series went on, as I got like halfway through the second part, I was kind of a little more convinced that her father may have had something to do with her daughter's disappearance, well, and death. Now, I have some problems with the documentary, and I'm gonna discuss that right now. I don't recall who she said was paying for her lawyers. If somebody can help me with that, I assumed her father was. I don't know, or her family. So that was kind of confusing. Did they just do it pro bono? Like, you know what I mean? No lawyer's gonna put their reputation on the line just to be like, ew, you know? So I just was confused as to how she was able to afford such a big team and, like, you know, of prominent people too. So that, if anyone can answer that for me, I'd really appreciate it. Secondly, the problem I also had with it was, if you notice, like, her dad was kind of like gung-ho for her and wanting her to be let go and not get in trouble and all that stuff, until she mentioned, trigger warning, the molestation. And then he really quickly changed his tone. And that was one of the things that actually convinced me that perhaps maybe he had more to do with it than I initially thought, you know? And so, because that was kind of weird. Like, first you're like, oh, I got to protect my daughter, you know, da-da-da-da-da, you know, she's innocent. Hi, Donnie64, welcome. She's innocent, you know. And then his tone changes the second she mentions the molestation. Like, he all of a sudden is like, well, she could have had something to do with it, you know. Then he testifies against her, and I'm just like, wait a second, just a minute ago you were like, you know, it didn't make sense. Like, to me, that in itself proves that he knows what happened. So, you know, that's pretty obvious, I feel. But another issue that I actually, well, not necessarily issues, I guess you can call them, but thoughts, my opinion, my thoughts, kind of the conclusions that I came to watching the series. Again, I don't want to ruin it for you, so if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and just go watch it real quick and then come back, and you guys can comment in the comment section below, like, your thoughts and opinions. But how are you doing? Did you watch the docu-series Donnie 64? It's on Peacock, so just for those of you who don't know. The third thing that kind of stood out to me too was at the funeral. This was a big one for me, and this was the third part. Oh, you're in the UK? Okay. Well, welcome, nonetheless. That stood out really, like, kind of gave with, like, red flags. What? Wait, I forgot my train of thought. Hold on. I should write this stuff down, don't you think? I'm not a very professional YouTuber. Oh my god, that's gonna bug me. Hold on, give me like a minute. It'll come back. The thing that stood out to me... Oh, the funeral. Okay, so at the funeral... Red flag, yeah. At the funeral, her dad was like, I miss the smell of her sweat. Talking about Kaylee Anthony, the dead girl. I miss the smell of her sweat from coming back inside of a hot summer day. And I get that, the smell of little, toddlers running around and their smell. There's a certain scent to young people and kids. And but what I didn't get is if he's being accused of molestation and all these things, that is not something you are one who has accusations that would say something like that. Like, you would probably want to, like, not use those terms, you know what I mean? Especially if you're being accused of something you supposedly didn't do. So in a lot of ways, I felt like he kind of was almost bragging, or like kind of giving little hints that maybe he did do something. Because I feel like no normal person that has been charged with those kinds of, well, not charged, but allegedly at least spoken about, in that reference, like molestation, pedophilia, whatever, you'd watch your words, you know what I mean? Because you don't want the public or anyone to think, you are guilty. I mean, that's just, I would think, why would you say something like that? It just seemed really kind of off-putting. And that's kind of what, I mean, I don't think I've officially fully deemed her innocent of anything that went on, per se. But I do know that her father had something to do with it, and I just, you guys have to go watch the series. Yeah, it wasn't it, when stressed mommy? Like, why would he say that? That was so weird. Like, I just got, like, I was like, oh, those are weird vibes right there. Like, I don't understand why would he use that choice of words? Like, it just didn't sit right with me. And also, I mean, I don't think Casey Anthony is necessarily, like, the most likable person. She's obviously gone through a lot in her life. Do I believe her about the molestation that her dad? I don't really want to take a full stance on anything, because when I do, I'll ask my son and found his smelly sock. Aww. Yeah, I get the sweaty smell thing, right? I get it. Like, I understand that. But if you're being accused of pedophilia, you know what I mean, though? Like, you probably would want to, like, say something a little, like, not in reference to that. So I just feel like it was a bad choice of words, for sure. But why would you choose those words, considering? And plus, another thing that stuck out to me, too, was that him and his wife were, like, spending tons of money on stuff that they did not even need. Like, a boat, stuff like soon after her death, because they were making all this money, you know, talking to publicists. And I just found that their spending habits were very unusual, especially if, you know, your granddaughter just died. So why in the hell are you going to go buy a speedboat and then slap on help kids or something to make sense of it? You know what I mean? To me, it just seemed very, I can't think of the word, like insensitive maybe? It just seemed like they weren't normal. They weren't a normal family. And I feel like that was very, what is a normal family, right? You could always argue that. But I just feel like the way that they handled it was obviously not normal. And not a normal, again, people could always argue, well, how do you deal with grief? Everyone's different. Again, I just feel like it was in poor taste, okay? Straight up, it was in poor taste. So, what else? I'm just trying to think of the main key things that really stood out to me in the docu-series that I have questions about, that I didn't fully understand, that I found weird. But let me get some concealer on while I discuss it, otherwise I'm not going to get anything done. But yeah. What else? I'm trying to think of more things. There was a lot. There was so much. Like, I almost left with more questions a little bit than answers. Like, I finally understood why the jury didn't find her guilty. But then again, I was like, well, then who is? You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh, okay, she's not guilty, and then leave it alone. Like, to me, it's important that we find out what happened, you know? So I guess the jurors just believed that she drowned, and this was just, I mean, it could very well be that, you know? We don't really know. Nobody really knows. We can all have thoughts and opinions about it, but we don't really know exactly what took place. But their spending habits definitely changed. They were more concerned about being on like talk shows and stuff, instead of like, I mean, personally, if I lost any loved one, never mind a kid, okay, I wouldn't want to be like, I personally would not want the publicity, you know, like I would be like, no, I'm not gonna, no, I don't care how much money you want to give me. This emotion and this feeling is not for sale. But again, they had a very different family dynamic. And this, again, is all according to Casey. Like, I mean, in all reality, she could just be making this up. We don't really know. But, you know, the jurors said that she was not guilty. And so you gotta respect the fact, you know. Oh, I'm so sorry, Donnie. I'm sorry. I couldn't imagine the grief with a loss of a child. I could never, I mean, to those people that, you know, survived their kids, like, my heart goes out to you. I don't think, I mean, I pray every night for people that have lost children. That's just part of my prayers, you know what I mean? Truly, I do. Because it's just so heart-wrenching. The thought. Oh, I couldn't imagine. And there's nothing that will make it ever go away. Even with grief, why would you say something like that? Yes! What? That's just, I don't understand it. That was really, again, it was really off-putting when he did mention the sweat, you know, and I kind of, like I said, I can't understand, you know, missing that. But at the same time, if you're being accused of something so serious, like, or was accused or whatever the case may be, like, you might want to choose a different choice of words, you know? But that's just me, though. Like, I mean, I don't know. So that was kind of off-putting. There also was, okay, her lying. That was another big part. Remember how she lied about where all the places she worked, and lied about how she gave her kid to, like, whatever that lady was, Zenaida. She made up a fake babysitter and all that stuff. I mean, before the show, before the series, I was really like, to me, that proves her guilt. But after the series, I felt like it kind of proved maybe that she wasn't right in the head, if that makes sense. But here's a hole in her story. And I want to make sure that this is really clear. And I want to see if you guys caught it. Okay? And I'm going in this completely unbiased because I personally would have been like, fuck that, I'm not even watching a show in regards to her because I just was so disgusted and everything. But she had mentioned that spending time in jail really opened up like old wounds. Like it really made her come to realization, like what had happened to her as a child. She didn't really recall it before. Like it was just, you know, but upon unpacking all this baggage, what have you, upon unpacking all this baggage, right? Coming to terms with things and realizing the reality, she, you know, remembered certain stuff from her past in reference to her father and her. And there's a hole. She had mentioned her father's abuse prior, okay, to Kaylee even going missing. And it was with one of her ex-boyfriends, if I remember correctly. And he recalled, I don't think none of them got interviewed, but he testified. And he recalled her mentioning the abuse. So that's a false statement. Okay? This is where I caught her. I was like, you know, but then again, it could be memory lapses. It could be trauma. It could be a lot of things. But I feel like it's kind of a whole, especially in the documentary, because she's sitting here saying, you know, I never remembered any of the abuse until this, and this. But then your ex just said that you had mentioned the abuse to him before Kaylee was even missing. So that's where I'm kind of like, huh? Like, that didn't make sense to me. So someone, if you watched it, you know, 1 through 3 all the way through, and it's fresh in your brain, and you're not like me, forgetful and kind of all over the place, can you let me know if you caught that too? Because I thought that was kind of strange. I'm just curious if anyone else caught that. I'm gonna finish up my makeup. I have to get ready, like for reals. What, if anything, did you guys find? He was only 14. I'm sorry. My daughter's by the door. She wants to come in here. But I told her, Papa should be watching them. He's not. Anyways, here's what it is. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, contour. I don't get a minute. Like, you guys, the only time that you see that I have to myself is literally right now. This is it. Oh, and I'm actually gonna meet up with my sponsor, which is rare. I typically don't see her unless there's like a meeting that I'm going to, which is, again, only for birthdays. Like, I only go to meetings when it's to celebrate someone's birthday. So it's not very often. I don't know if you can hear it. I wonder if he noticed she's gone yet. Oh, and I'm actually going to do some shopping, possibly for hubby. And that's another time that I get time alone. If I'm going, like, shopping for somebody and they can't be there, that's when I get some time alone. But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, as a mom, for moms that know, like, it's hard to get a minute to yourself. Oh, not even the bathroom. No, I don't really get to have my BMs alone either. Yeah, I heard him. He's like, "Are you doing?" He just figured it out. That's funny. But anyhow, I don't want her to hear me talking about such a sensitive subject. So I'm kind of like watching what I say, because I know she was by the door. I think she's going back upstairs so I can discuss it. That was another reason why I didn't want her down here. because it is such a sensitive topic, and it is, I don't know, it's just, again, I can't follow that kind of stuff because I'm too sensitive when it comes to like kids and death. It's just, it's really hard for me. I can't imagine, like I said, being a parent and dealing with that. I don't get it. I mean, my hat's off to you. I don't understand how you survive. Like maybe if you have other kids, perhaps that's how you get through it. That's the only way I could see, you know what I mean? Surviving something like that, would be if you had another child and, you know, you had to live for them. But I mean, aside from that, I couldn't imagine. I don't know. I just don't know. So God bless you. And I'm sorry that anybody's ever had to deal with a child, passing before them. Like, I just don't understand that. So maybe she was kind of losing her mind, you know what I mean? That's very fair to say. She was, with the whole, like I was talking about earlier, the whole, like how she mentioned, oh, she was in NADA, and oh, she, you know, I was working here at Universal Studios and she wasn't working there. That is signs of somebody lying, but it's also signs of somebody that isn't right. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, she's innocent, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, she's guilty. But what I am going to say is that series 100% changed the way I looked at the jury's decision. That's pretty much all it did. I'm not going to lie. Because, again, you can't trust everything. You know what I mean? I certainly don't. Not anymore, anyway. And, yeah, so I would like some feedback from anybody that watched it or heard about it or has an opinion. I think that would be helpful for me too. Kind of go through kind of what our feelings were, discuss them, throw back and forth some ideas. I know a lot of people are really busy this time of year, and I appreciate you guys even stopping by, even to say hello. But yeah, let me know what you guys think or thought in the comment section below. I want to get your guys' take on it. Like, did you get kind of the same feels as I did from the Docu series, where I don't necessarily think it frees her up from every, you know what I mean? I don't feel like, hypothetical, let's say she had nothing to do with her disappearance, right? And it was all her dad, right? It still does not explain a lot. Even if you were out of it and just kind of like discombobulated and your mind was all twisted and you know, you were molested and you know, you had all these problems, I don't think it necessarily explains certain things, like being totally normal, you know, during those times. I mean, you know, she tries to explain it like, well, my dad said she was okay, you know, like that's why she was partying and you know, went a month without calling the police because she's doing what he told her to do. And I, to a degree, I can understand that, but not fully. Maybe that's because I'm not a victim of that, you know, maybe I don't understand, you know, that could be part of why I'm kind of confused, why many people are confused. I don't understand why you would just you wouldn't call the police. Like, it doesn't make any sense. To protect your, I don't know. And then also, why would she have her kid around him if, like, he used to do that to her? That's another thing that's really big for me. She realization too herself, like in the docuseries, or at least she was acting like she had. And she's like, you know, I should have just left the second I was pregnant. And I agreed with that. Like, yeah, you should have. Like, how do you let your kid be around somebody who used to rape you every night? You know, there's some things that I just don't understand. And I don't think I'm supposed to, like, in all reality. I don't think we're going to get all the answers. But one thing that really was triggering for me, though, is that they had her cell phone pings, but they never got the dad's. I don't see anything. I'm not on live chat. Hold on. Sorry, Crazy Blonde. I'm on live chat now. I apologize. Hi, welcome. Thank you for being a member. for so long, and I haven't done anything on join. I feel awful. Hi. Yeah, I don't see anything. I just see the green member for 16 months and you saying, have you seen any of my comments? No. That's the first time I'm saying anything. Sorry. I apologize. I don't know if it's my internet or what's going on, but that's the first comment I've seen of yours. Did you watch the Docu series? Crazy Blonde? By chance? I'm just curious. I just want to see like who actually watched it. I found it to be eye-opening, personally. And I wasn't thinking it would. I was thinking, oh gosh, she's just trying to get people to like her. So there's more people talking that I'm not responding to? Are you kidding me? I feel awful now. I feel like an idiot. Sorry. I can't see. I couldn't see. I'm still scrolling. I don't see anything. I saw Celebrity Juicer. I see One Stressed Mommy. I see, and then I see you, Crazy Blonde, say, are you seeing my comments? And I'm saying, no. Sorry. I don't know why they're not showing up on my end. I apologize. If anybody's talking to me and I'm not responding to you, it's because I can't see you. Who knows why that's happening? I think I might be blocked. You're not blocked. There's no way you're blocked. I saw that. There's no way you're blocked. I hope people aren't getting blocked. That could be a reality. I have to go check my blocked list. Find out, make sure. But no, you're not blocked. I'm sorry, I can't see. All I saw was that one. I wonder why it's not showing on my end. I have it on live chat. I wonder why I can't see him. That's so weird. Anyway, sorry. I didn't intentionally ignore you, I promise. And you would never be blocked. Not in a million years. You see them all? Oh my god. Do you mind repeating what you said? I'm so sorry, Crazy Blonde. That's not cool. That's annoying. It could be my internet, maybe. But I saw those ones. I saw your just most recent one. That's concerning to me. YouTube has been glitching lately, guys. I'm going to put that out there real quick. That YouTube has been glitching. I don't know if you've been watching anything on it or heard anything about it. But it's glitching a lot. And I don't know the reason for it. We haven't really gotten an answer either. So who knows? It could be part of that. But I would never intentionally ignore you. If I saw you talking, I would definitely be talking back. You know? But how are you? I hope there's about 8 comments. Oh my god, no. Not on my end. I'm sorry. Now I feel like now I feel like crap. Shoot. Well, that wasn't intentional. I apologize. Maybe that's what's been happening. People are like talking and I'm completely ignoring them, even though they're, I don't know, that's weird. Because I'm wondering, like, why has it been so dead in here lately? I mean, I know it's the holidays, so I expect it, you know what I mean? But, like, not this dead. Maybe people thinking I'm just, like, ghosting them or something? Because that would make sense. That would make more sense, I feel. She was answering all my questions? Shut up. Dude. This is why it's helpful to have my laptop with me while I do this, so I can see if I can see it on the laptop. I don't know. Why? You were giving your Casey opinion? Happy Saturday? It's never happened before? Yeah. Boo! Now I'm annoyed. Ooh. I hate YouTube sometimes. That pisses me off. I'm sorry. Damn it. Is there any, like, recent question that you answered that I'm sorry. because I do want to discuss this more. Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. Ugh, that's frustrating. Um, what's your opinion? Do you think she's guilty, Crazy Blonde? Do you think she... It's not your fault. Thank you. Sorry. Do you think she did? Do you still feel the same way as you did, before seeing the series? Or I don't even know if you have. Darn it. I mean, do you think I don't know. I mean, me personally, before the series, I thought she was 100% guilty. Like, without a doubt. And the jury just dropped the ball. After seeing the series, I'm unsure with her involvement. I don't want to say she's guilty or she's not. But the jurors probably made the right decision with everything that they had in front of them. That's my piece. There were a couple other strange things also that took place that I was kind of like, that had baffled me. I watched the court proceedings and they didn't have enough evidence to convict her. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I could see that now. I didn't watch all the court hearings and stuff. I just remember thinking she did it because she was out partying and didn't call the police till a month after. So to me, that's guilty, like, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But I didn't know about all this, like, talk about... I mean, I kind of heard it in passing, like, with the molestation and all that jazz. But the docu-series does not make me think she's innocent. Like, 100%. I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't. Like, I don't think... I don't know. It didn't fully convince me. I'll just say that, okay? But I think her father was a lot more involved than what I had previously thought. Because, I didn't know about them buying all this expensive stuff and, like, being in the public eye so much and, like, just, like, taking it there. You know what I mean? Which I feel is kind of, like, weird. I don't know. That's weird to me. Like, I just don't understand that. And it's, because we're trying to create awareness for other missing kids. And it's like, then why are you buying a speedboat? Like, to me, that's just weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And I'm sorry if my phone's glitching and it's being awkward and it's being awful and not being able to see anybody. I apologize. Maybe you guys can make comments after the fact. I feel awful. I watched the court... Oh, yeah, you already read that. Didn't have enough evidence to convict her. So, do you think she's innocent or guilty, or do you not know? Because I would suggest... Well, because I was tripping... What I was mainly tripping on was the jury giving her the pass. That's what I was tripping on. Before the docu-series. I was like, how could you do that? Like, how could you just let this baby... go out like that, and then come to find out that they didn't get the dad's phone records. Okay, he was a prior cop too. I'm gonna throw that out there. Don't hate me, but he was a prior cop, and so, there's a sense of like, they favored him, for a lot of reasons. Well, she made herself look guilty as fuck, but which I still don't think she's not. The docu-series really put to rest my problem that I had with the jury. We'll never know. Oh my god, yeah, her mom knew what was happening and turned her head. Yeah, I could see that. She did strike me as that kind of person too. Like, unfortunately. She did seem like that kind of mom, especially with how they're acting, like with all the stuff, all the money they were making from all the publicity. It's just awful. And like, how come his phone records weren't taken into consideration at all? Like, to me, that's a huge ball drop, you know? Like, to me, if you're going to take, you know, her phone records, you need to make sure his are taken too. And I don't understand why they weren't. Like, I don't understand that. So, does anybody know, like, if he was paying her lawyer fees? Oh, God, that's awful. Yeah, to even think that. We will never know. I know. But the only thing, because I needed that series to clear up, because I was pissed at the jurors. I was pissed. I was like, especially when it happened, I was like, you guys are sick fucks, you know? I was just mad at the jury. I remember that. I recall being really upset. But now it makes sense, though, as to why the decision was made the way it was. It's clearly obvious, you know, now that I've watched the series. But again, I still felt a disingenuous, like, I didn't feel Casey was being 100%. I'm gonna say that. I don't feel like she was being 100%. I felt like there was, like I said, I caught that one lie, how she was like, I didn't remember the molestation until after the fact, you know? Like, I unpacked a bunch of stuff and then we figured it out. And I'm like, but you just told your ex-boyfriend that. Like, it doesn't make sense. The things aren't adding up. She was definitely lying. Yeah, they're her defense. Yeah. Which, you know what, though? In all honesty, who paid for her defense team? Her dad? Like, maybe she was like her mom and turned her cheek while he was touching her. You know what I mean? They say that you are a product of your upbringing. You know what I mean? Her mom did it. You know, maybe that's what she did. I don't know. It's hard to say. What I will say is I'm not, like, triggered at the jurors anymore. I was pissed. I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy. I hate you all. I remember thinking that, too. They're going to all burn in hell. I was so triggered, you guys. That's why I don't watch that kind of stuff. I don't. Because I actually can't. You know what I mean? I can't do it. I just can't do it. Because I get too angry and I get too hostile. Yeah, this is way too light for me. Do you see that? This is why it's not really working very well. Usually Shape Tape works really good. Yeah, it's probably even more twisted than we can even imagine. I don't even want missing pieces. Yeah, because there were a lot of missing pieces even after the fact. Like, after the series, you know what I mean? And to me, it's kind of like, huh? Like, maybe her parents are pretending they have a falling out with her and they really don't. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, for publicity. I don't know. It's just, I don't trust the family in general. Like, her mom, her dad, all of them. Before, I just didn't trust her. You know what I mean? But now, I'm like, I don't trust none of y'all. You know? That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, her dad was a cop. And to me, that's kind of telling, especially considering he got away with what he got away with. Because I know he had some kind of involvement in it, you know? Which, I mean, the jurors knew. I guess they assumed it, well, the conclusion was it was a drowning death, right? And bad decisions were made. That's kind of like what they're chalking it up to. But that's not what I think at all. Okay, so I'm going to try the palette one more time, you guys. We can still talk about it, because I'm still intrigued with it. I don't know if there's going to be another part to the series. I think there should be, because I felt like it was kind of ended. It ended kind of like we still have a lot of questions, but then again, we're also going to have a lot of questions about the whole thing. But I don't know if they're going to continue it or not. I would like to see, you know, maybe another 3 parts, like 2. Oh, there we go. I almost spilled my water. I would like to see another, because I remember that the documentary people were asking her, or she's like, I know what you're going to ask me. What really happened? And then she never answered that. Like, she had mentioned prior to that question, or saying that statement, how like she drowned and she had this lifeless body, and her dad's like, I'll take care of it, blah blah blah. But like there was still more, you know. And what I also found weird was that her lawyers wouldn't even talk to her about any of it. They wouldn't even get any information. They wouldn't even ask her questions about it after the fact, which I find kind of odd as well. Because if you're going to let someone into your home and live with them and, you know, help them out and all that stuff, wouldn't you want to know, like, more? I mean, I personally would. I wouldn't just, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a shit person for that. I don't know. But they just seemed to take her under their wing and, like, helped her out. Neglect, yeah. I agree. I agree, Crazy Blonde. 100%. But I never took, like, the mom and the dad into consideration beforehand. Like, before I was just like, this bitch is crazy, she did it. Maybe her dad tried to help her get away with it. That was my assumption. But after watching the series, I'm like, oh, fuck no. This family's jacked. Like, they're messed up, you know? Is there anyone else talking in the chat, Crazy Blonde? I'm just curious, because I don't want what happened. They're intermingled. Yeah, they are intermingled. It's creepy. Just me, okay. I'm just making sure, because, like, apparently, I know you were talking, but I didn't see it. This was just pissing me off. So, I'm going to go brown and blue. Because I can. And I will. But yeah, I mean, after watching that series, I got a new perspective on things. I would certainly suggest watching that series. But again, like, I don't think it fully changed my mind 100%. But the thing is, though, is like, isn't a missing person, maybe I don't understand the judicial system, but isn't, like, a missing, or not a missing, but a dead child, shouldn't that be investigated further? Like, even if she's found not guilty, shouldn't his phone records, you know, be brought up? Like, shouldn't we see what his phone records were doing, you know, in that time frame? Because this kid just died, and you'd think, right? Like, I'm just curious, like, how come, like, the state just left it alone? They're like, oh, we're fine with the outcome, and that's it? You know? And again, I do think it has a lot to do with him being a cop. You know? I mean, again, that's just my perspective. You guys don't have to know me very well to know my perspective, but... Yeah, because of his officer status, they let it go. That's exactly, that's what I'm talking about. And that's bullshit. You know, somebody else should open it up. Like, she should go back and be like, no, I want to see his records. And, I mean, if she truly was innocent, as she's trying to say she is, then fucking, you know, let's see your dad's phone records, you know? Demand it. You know? You and your group of lawyer friends fucking, you know, go to the judge and be like, hey, listen, why doesn't she take a lie detector test? You know what I mean? That's another one. To me, if I was completely innocent in something, I'd be like, hook me up. Hook me up, dude. I don't care. I'm going to take a lie detector test. That's the kind of person I am. If I'm fully innocent of something and I'm being charged with something I did not do, hook me up. I'll prove to you that I did not do it. Like, how come that's not even being discussed as an option? You know, like... I don't know. If she really wanted to prove her innocence and in the involvement of the death of her child, why isn't she doing more? It seems like she was more worried about clearing her name publicly, in the public eye, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. You know? Oh, people wanted to kill him, yeah. And also, it gave me a new perspective, too, on, like, YouTubers that, like, go to people's homes and stuff, and, like, like be like, oh, you're guilty and da 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 da. It gave me a new perspective on that as well, because it's kind of like you never really know, and it could be just a grieving parent, and you're out there, you killed your kid. You know, before I was kind of like, yeah, go get them, those killers. You know, now I'm like, it makes me sit back and think a little bit more, like, maybe people should be more sensitive to this kind of shit. You know, like, that should be illegal. Now that I think about it, that shit should be illegal, I feel like. Because, like, I don't know. Everyone has the right to protest, but I think it's taking it to a whole other level when there's a dead kid involved and you're at, like, their parents' house screaming out their killers and shit. Like, I don't know. It gave me a new perspective on a lot. Let's just say that. So, again, like, if you're like, anti-Casey Anthony, which I'm not, like, her. I don't think she's great. Like, I don't think she's, like, you know. But, again, I feel like she's more fucked up than I initially thought. I just thought she was, well, granted, that'd be fucked up if you just wanted to party and not have a kid. But she's been through a lot more than what I initially really realized, you know? Yeah, just because people are strange, it doesn't make you a murderer. Yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, all in all, I give it 10 stars out of 10. Because, granted, it left you still with not very many answers, which I like things like that. To me, that's more intriguing. Yeah, you can tell. Like, I could, after watching her and her mannerisms and how she responds and how she reacts, some of it I felt was a little acting. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna go there. That's kind of mean, maybe. I could be wrong. But when I saw her real, you know what I mean, I could tell that, yeah, you know, she is a victim of, you know, abuse. And so before, I just thought she was making that shit up about her dad. I thought she was just making things up to get off the hook, you know what I mean? I thought it was planned. Like, they were all just like, let's, you know, who knows? You know, all we're left is with speculation, exactly. And I don't like to speculate about these kinds of things either. I really don't. But in all honesty, though, I think it was good. It needed to be done because I just remember my anger with the jury. You know, I remember being so mad. And now looking back, I didn't have all the answers. I wasn't presented all the evidence and the info that they were. So, you know, why was I so mad? I just was angry because the baby was gone, you know? And that's with most of the people that, you know, try to fight for these missing kids. Like, they're just pissed that there's missing kids. You know, some people take it and try to make money off of it, which is disgusting in my opinion. But, you know, there are also some people that just really want to get answers. And there's people out there that want to, like, be little armchair detectives, you know what I mean? Which I don't blame them, you know. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you want to help out, like, by all means. But sometimes you're not really helping. So it's really just kind of all based upon perspective and, you know, depending on the situation. Hi, girl. Be careful. Don't knock that down. You want to pop in and say hello?
Huh?
Just pop your head in and say hello.
Hi. I got a new jamma.
She's got new jammas. New Christmas jammas, right? Watch out.
I'm trying to scooch.
You can scooch. Oh. Okay, close the door. Sorry. I was like, we're not talking about it no more. She just wanted to show off her new pajamas that her auntie got her. But yeah, in this instance, I think if you were involved in any way in the Casey Anthony case, that go check out the series. Go check it out. You know, let me know what you think. I know a lot of people refusal into even watching it I understand that. But if you're like me, where I was just had so many questions, and I just didn't understand how, Michael, yeah, she's not supposed to be down here, especially when I'm talking about such, like, I usually typically don't talk about this kind of stuff, but it's something that was brought up by, Stephanie D, and actually I was like, oh shit, that she made me think about it. And I had seen it in passing too. And I was like, I was gonna watch that. And she reminded me, and I was like, fucking A, I'm gonna do it. So here we are. Love me some gold, right? Me too. I love her so much, you guys. Like, I can't imagine anybody losing a child. Like, I just don't. I don't. How are they alive? Like, the only way I could see myself maybe being not, after losing a child would be as if I had another child. Because I gotta live for that one. You know what I mean? I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. And my hat goes off to anybody who's lost a child. Like, I can't imagine. And I'll never know that pain. But I've literally cried over... Dawn broke my heart, right? I literally have cried over cases like this, That particular case, when I saw her picture. I cried over this shit. I just personally, I cannot do it. I can't. Like, I've always thought, like, what if I want to talk about this kind of thing and, like, make it a part of my channel a little bit, just for discussion purposes? But I can't. I can't do that. There's no way in hell. I physically, spiritually, emotionally can't, I'm doing it this time only because, I wanted to watch the series anyway. Okay. It was something that I was familiar with at the time. Okay. And I wanted answers. Okay. That is the only reason why I watched it. I didn't watch it thinking, oh, my views on everything's going to change. Right. But they did. Surprisingly, I was not expecting that. It put a lot of stuff into perspective. And I'm glad that I did watch it, And I know there's a lot of you guys that did watch it and wanted to discuss it as well. Yeah. Yeah, without one of them. Like, I mean, God, I pray. Every night, I'm not even joking. I pray every night. I say, to God, I'm like, dude, like, I don't say dude, but I say, I'm like, Lord, let those parents that have lost children, gain some peace. I pray all the time about that, because I can't. Once I had kids, I started praying about that. Before I had kids, I didn't pray about that. But I do. I pray about it every night because I just can't. I don't know. Thanks for hanging out with me. For a good time, what? Right? Let me make you, hold on. There. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, how do you go on? Casey cared more about herself. And you know what? You're blue. No. But you know what, though? I kind of got that a little bit in the 3-part series, though, too. Because she was like, I can't go anywhere or do anything. And I'm like, Merry Christmas to you. I can't, and I'm just like, obviously, bitch, like, what do you want, I don't know. I just felt kind of like she wanted to, obviously, if you didn't kill your kid, and people are, like, saying you did, obviously you would want to clear your name. No duh. And she waited that long, too. So it's just so many questions. But to me, like, why doesn't she take a lie detector test, then? I hope she never has another child, right? Me too. Well, part of me was kind of like, oh, because I felt bad for her. And I was like, oh, she probably wants another child, But then I was like, just by you saying that, like, I kind of agree. Because maybe as long as she's not near her parents, I don't freaking know. Nah, maybe it's just a hard no on that. Hard no. I'm going to go in with naughty and then nice. Okay, so naughty and then nice. But I do appreciate you hanging out with me during this chat, Crazy Blonde. It's been dead in my chat rooms lately, and I don't have a tripod. Certainly, if I'm not answering people and they're in here, you know, what if that's happened before? Like, that's kind of weird. I can't believe that happened today. Like, that's weird. I couldn't see a single comment, and I'm wondering if that's like a thing. Yeah, right? Wouldn't you be like, give me the test, give me the lie detector test? Like, how come that wasn't even discussed? You know what I mean? Like, to me, I mean, that's like the first thing I would go to, personally. I'd be like, give me the test. Give me a test. All the pleasure's all yours. You're such a sweetheart. You've been such a pillar of my channel for so long, and I mean, that's the least I can do. Like, I feel, I appreciate you more than you know. Yeah, her dad. Yeah. Ooh, like, I just feel like, I have a bat. I'm glad that you love this channel. Yeah, I need to get a tripod. So while I'm Christmas shopping today, I'm probably going to go out and get myself a tripod. If I find the time, like, we'll see. I don't know. Do I want to go out and shop right now? Absolutely not. 100% no. But at the same time, do I have to? Yeah, kind of. Maybe I won't add that lighter blue. I think this is kind of pretty on its own. Is this a duochrome? Yeah, he was. And to me, there's your answer. You know, because I didn't know that bit. I didn't know he was a cop. I didn't. I had no clue. I was like, I found that out watching the 3-part series, dude. I'm like, and you guys, you know how I feel. And that changed a lot for me. Oh, it sure is. You know it is. You know it. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Unreal. Don't fall down. It's really pretty. I don't do it justice, and neither does the lighting. That's the only problem. Right? Me too. I love it. It's so pretty. I'm going to be using this all month. I already know. I'm going to be using it into the new year too. I'm going to just do a little bit of the nice. Right? Aww. Samesies. Is that is a shimmer, right? Yeah, it's not like a glitter though. Just putting it in the center really lightly. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This is the look I should have done yesterday. But anyway, sorry. I don't have a tripod. My time is limited. I work with what I have, and the time that I have, and you guys can tell it's not very much, I'm sure. But baby girl wants to do her makeup on here. I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna do her makeup. You know. It is what it is. Okay. I can't go retract what I promised. Maybe I'll try some green. I'll try some green. I really like the eyeliner too. Do you get the Slay Glam box, right? Pretty sure you told me you do. Because I actually like this eyeliner too, which I typically don't like. I know. I wanted to do like what do you call it? Like a snow princess look. Now I'm going to dye my contacts green. I just need to wash them in the cleanser. It'll go away. Sometimes it happens with my eyeshadows. Like, I'll put a bunch of, like, glitter or colorful eyeshadow on, and then my contacts will change a different color, and then I have to actually wash them in the solution to make it go away. Slay Glam, Ice Cream, and Blink Wink. Yeah. I absolutely love Slay Glam. Like, after my year of free Slay Glam is up, I'm going to definitely continue to purchase it. Because it's that freaking good. And then I'm going to do mascara. And I'll probably be done. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. There's nothing you can really do to prevent that. If you're a contact wearing person, like, your contacts are just going to be some kind of color sometimes, you know? That's okay. I'm absolutely okay with it. And I like this chunky mascara. Don't come for me. I do. It's actually not chunky. It looks like it would be, but it's not. I was hoping it would have been more chunky than it actually is, so there's that. But I'm a weirdo. I like chunky mascara. And this isn't chunky at all. I would think it would be. No. No dice. Whoops. You should. Simple. If I wasn't yapping, it would be fast. You know. Blah, 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 blah. Also, I was going to try to wait till after the holidays to talk about it, too, because it's such a sensitive subject. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to remember what I watched. Aw, really? That makes me feel so good. Thank you. How cool. I mean, I'm either going to speak on it now or never, you know, and I said screw it. I need to find my eyelash curler. It's with the kids' presents. So I have to go through all, I'm not going to say where. Oh, the cut. Yeah, that took me years. Years, dude. That took me so long to figure out how to do. And even then, I wasn't doing it perfect. And I'm like, notice I don't do it anymore. It's hard. You need lots of time. And it's just something I don't have, especially recently. So, sorry my looks have been boring. But the thing is I have a new palette and I'm going to play with it, so. My sponsor's going to be like, wow, you look really good. And I'm going to be like, thanks. It's the holidays, okay? I want to look hot while I shop. Just kidding. No, I wanted to play with this palette. It really is. I'm going to use it all. I'm going to be using this all the time. With that being said, I'm going to go. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. I'm going to get ready. I have to do a few things before I head out. But, yeah, please, in the comment section below, guys, like, let me know if you watched the series. What do you think? Did it change your opinion? There's a 2-year wait list. I'm on it. Otherwise, I have to drive too far. And it's been fun. Thank you for hanging out with me. This would have been so boring if you were here. Love you. Stay positive, even though it's hard sometimes. And I'll catch up with you guys soon. Happy holidays. Thank you, Crazy Bomb. You too.